honestly, though, who wasn't expecting me to do this? Yep, here we go. The start of fucking me having to buy $1,000,000 worth of shit. Funny thing, when I went to buy this at the store, it was $30. As soon as I bought it, the store owner raised it to 45. Fuck him to whoever else besides me bought this. Love this deck though. It's totally my favorite out of all the new Commander decks. I think it's the best. Everybody else, no, Worm, Coil Engine, all that bullshit. I love this one the best. You don't need to use her for anything, but her first ability, and except for in the game, in the rare case of the game where I'm playing with, where you're versing artifact decks, I won all but, I got down to me and the last person beat me, but I was able to take out everybody else, and the reason he beat me was because he had a bunch of really high flying and Juggernaut. This deck needs some reach creatures or something, but besides that, this first ability, just keep doing that every single turn you get her out. There's no reason not to be using her first ability. Trample, whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card, 6/6. First ability basically lets you put a 1/1 that taps for 1 green mana, which is great, because you can get more mana every turn. And literally by like turn 4 or 5, I had like 10 elves in the field. Raid another target elf. Wish I had him out. Elf creatures you control get 3/3 and gain trample until end of turn. I got screwed over because at one point I was doing really well, and somebody had the Oblivion Stone on the field, and I didn't attack them, but the other guy attacked him, so then all our cards got board wiped, and fucking Oblivion Stone just screwed me over. But it's okay. We've got Titanium Protector of Argroth. By the way, if anybody wants to know where she first came from, this person, Ice Age would be the first set. Whenever Protector of Argroth enters the battlefield, return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Number of lands played in the graveyard from battlefield, put 5 free green. There's a couple of things in here. There's a bunch of cards which I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing a special thing where I'm going to be making a sideboard for you guys later on that you guys should add to the decks. I'm doing one in each video, and then I might, don't quote me on this, I might be giving one away. Add to your mana pool 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Sacrifice Commander Sphere, draw a card. So just basically pay 3 mana for so it's a mossy, it's a more expensive mossy emerald or whatever, but you can draw a card. Put a 1 free green elf creature on token on the battlefield. Put 3 1/1s. Okay, that's good. 4 mana though is a little too pricey for my taste. Unless they could tap for 1 green mana, that'd be great. Evolving Wilds, but the reason I love this deck is proof in the pudding. When Elven enters the battlefield, search your library for a forest card and put that card in the battlefield and shuffle your library. And I will be doing battles to show you guys the comparisons between old and new commander decks. Reach, Death Touch, and any 2 mana, 2/1. I'll show you all the elf cards I got out probably. Tranquil enters battlefield. I didn't really use any of the abilities in the lands except for one, which if I didn't use it, I'd be kind of stupid not to. It's a great ability land. I like it a lot. It made perfect sense in this deck. There's so many green lands, though. Green, not great. Green. There are some good lands. Ghost Quarters, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares about that. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. There is a lot of rares in here, by the way, which I'm happy about. They don't have the mythics, but they instead gave me more rares, which I'm actually okay with having more rares than mythics. An additional cost, sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic lands. Okay, I didn't use it, but it's okay. I don't really like Scarecrow armor. It's okay, but like your opponent gets to choose. This would be so much better if it read you can equip it to your opponent's creature. Like that one enchantment that gives your opponent 2/2 in flying to a creature, but they can't attack you or creatures you control with it, which is a great card, by the way. Add 1 green mana to your mana pool, 1 green mana. There's a number card I had out, but at the end, target creature gets X+X on the turn where X is the number of elves you control. Lore Seeker, draw free cards. This ability costs 1 more to activate for each card in your hand. Mossy Emerald, there we go. Add 1 green mana to your mana pool. Don't like that enters battlefield tap, but that's okay because they've got a better one in here. When enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card reveal and put it into play. I had that on the field. My favorite card in this, the beast, the creme de la creme. Multi-kicker 2 and 1 mana. Jorgwall enters battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each time it was kicked. Other elf creatures you control get 1/1 for each creature on it. So I would kick it 3 times, and every creature got free plus free. Each player sacrifices. I would have loved this card so much. I actually would have won if I had enchantments, non-basic lands. He or she controlled for each land sacrificed this way. Its controller may search her library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped. Basically, because it rates to destroy all artifacts. And my main problem was the artifact guy. Reach, Skull Rash, Spider deals X damage to each creature flying. But I had to take out this one guy because he was kind of bullying me and a couple other people. So I had to take him out in the game because he was being rude in real life. So I decided I'm going to knock him down a peg. He's like, "You can't beat me. I'm going to kill you." And I was like, "Yeah." Return all cards from the graveyard to your hand. Exile Predator Council. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Get rid of this and get that one artifact that taps for 1 colorless and makes you have no maximum hand size. This is okay. Target creature gains flying until end of turn. Destroy target creature with flying. It's okay. It's good. At the beginning of your upkeep, put X 2/2 green wolf creature tokens on the battlefield, where X is the number of your opponents with 4 or more cards in hand. So, since Walking Archivist was on the field, about everybody. Destroy all creatures with flying. Again, that's great for this deck, because there's not a lot of cards with reach in here. Put a free being grease creature token on the battlefield for each creature put into the graveyard from the battlefield this turn. I wish this was for each creature in the graveyard. That'd make that card way overpowered and so amazing. I loved this card growing up as a kid. As a kid, I'm saying like 15 or 16. But it was one of my favorite cards, and one of my first decks I ever built, which was just a big trample deck. Whenever you control attacks, you may put a quest counter on Ascension. As long as Beastmaster Ascension has 7 or more quest counters on it, creatures you control get 5/5. Creatures you control get 5/5. Amazing. Multi-kicker, 1 green. Its cost is a little high. If it was free, it'd be way better, but still, 2 green wolf creature on the field. Wish it was an elf instead of a wolf, but, add 1 mana to your mana pool. Sacrifice Gargoyle Castle, put a free 4 Gargoyle artifact creature token with flying onto the battlefield. There we go. There's some flying action for you. When Masked Marion enters the battlefield, draw a card. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may pay 2. If you do, return Masked Marions from your graveyard to your hand. There is 1 card in here that I would have actually lost the entire game for if it wasn't for it, so I have to thank that card when I see it. Choose an opponent, you, MV player, each put XX green Treefolk creatures tokens on the battlefield. Choose an opponent, you and that player each put X 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens on the battlefield. Other elf creatures you control get 1/1. Love this card. Add 1 green mana to your mana pool for each elf creature you control. This deck's just really fun. If you want to add more to it, it's going to be expensive because elf cards are expensive, but it's still a great deck. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. You see here, Trample. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a 4/4 green beast creature token on the battlefield. Until end of turn, target creature you control has base power of toughness of 5 and 5 and gains trample 5/5. I loved all the boost cards in here, but really helped a lot. Whenever Tyler Elemental enters the battlefield, it deals 6 damage to each creature with flying. Oh yes, Tornado Elemental's in here. I didn't even know that. You may have Tornado Elemental assign combat damage as though it weren't blocked 6/6. I have this in my I have one that's like that, except it's a spirit. This card was the only land that I used its ability because it's great. I have 1 green mana to your mana pool. Tap to put 1/1/1 counter on each green creature that entered the battlefield this turn. That card is great. I loved it. Hexproof, as long as Siege Beef is attacking for each creature you control, you may have this creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. Nice. Hydra enters battlefield with X 1/1 counters on it. When Lifeboat Hydra dies, you gain life and draw cards equal to its power. That's great. That's a great card. Trample Lieutenant, as long as you control your commander, Thunderfoot Bellow gets 2/2, and other creatures you control get 2/2, and have Trample. Sacrifice a land, target creature you control, get Shroud until end of turn. That's okay. Shroud's great. Wish it wasn't until end of turn. I don't even need to read what Terra Stomper does. I would hope you all know it. Sorry, Terraston. It's not Terra Stomper. I always think of Terra Stomper. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature for each elf you control. That's great. I wish I would have had that too. Enchanted permanent. enchanted permanent is colorless in a forest and a land. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may draw a card, 4/5. Draw a card for each creature you control. See, there's just ridiculous. Drawing cards. I wish that card said destroy creature. This card is amazing. No Mox Emerald, but it can't be. But green spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That's great. Use it a lot in this deck. Hey, a relatively new card to the field. Reliquum Sage enters the battlefield. You may destroy target artifact or enchantment. Add 1 green mana to your mana pool, 1/1. It's a great card. Going to bind. I actually have to go to work today at 4 at Target. And, yeah, quick creature has hexproof and haste. Champion and elf. Put 2/2 green morph creature token on the battlefield. Wolves you control have Death Touch. So wolves are the side thing in this deck. Elves are the main, but wolves are beside because there's just a lot of wolves. Enters battlefield, draw a card. Hexproof, draw elves, power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures permanents you control. That card's amazing. This card I loved. It came in handy a lot. 1 mana for each elf on the battlefield. I didn't even realize it does for elf on the battlefield, but that's great. This is the card that saved my ass. So when the Oblivion Stone went off, and if you don't know what Oblivion Stone does, you get rid of everything besides lands in the field. This card, when I played it, everybody can choose a creature type to bring back to your hand. And since all my elves were destroyed, and I literally had like 10 elves on the field, this let me return them all back to my hand, and I can play them all again. Enters battlefield, each player chooses a creature type and returns any number of cards of that type from his or her graveyard to his or her hand. I chose elves. I was back in action immediately. Whenever a number of creatures enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life, 1/1. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample and get X+X, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Creatures you control get 3/3 and gain trample until end of turn. This card's great, especially comboed with that 1 elf card, where its power totals are equal to the elves you control. Other elf creatures you control get 1/1. Love this card. And I can put a bunch of elf tokens on the battlefield. I was just given this card for free. Siegecraft, it's no reason it should be in there, but I got it for free. So somebody was just like, you want Siegecraft? I was like, sure. Destroy target permanent. You gain 1 life for each elf on the battlefield. You put it this way. I don't like you at all. 1 green forest. How much of the rest of these are forest? Okay, here we go. Equipped creature gets 1/1. Equipped creature dies. Draw 2 cards. Whenever a player casts a green spell, put a 1/1 counter on you have chosen. Draw a card for each creature card in your graveyard. When Fabulous Elf enters battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card and put it on the battlefield tapped. If you do, shuffle your library. Sacrifice a creature, destroy target creature with flying. Add 2 mana to your mana pool. Soul Ring's in here. No command tower, though, which would be great if it was in here. Whenever you cast an elf spell, you may put 1/1 green elf or a creature token on the battlefield. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and you can have your chance to win. I have decided I will do it. Your own Commander deck. New one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.